There are times when even though we do our best, the choices we make leave us with painful regrets. We begin on September 17th, 1992, in Lamarck, Texas, where 16-year-old Julie Jones was looking after her two younger sisters, 10-year-old Sarah and 5-year-old Melissa, while their parents were out of town for the day.
How do you like your new car?
It's great. I had just gotten my license.
I'm so bad. Can't wait. Hey,
We went to go grab something to eat. And on the way back, Sarah asked me if she could ride on the hood of our car.
What?
I don't think so.
Oh, please. I'll be really careful, I promise.
All the kids around here ride on the hoods of their cars. You see people at school, like in the parking lot, riding on the hoods of cars, and Sarah had seen them. She just wanted to try it.
Oh, please, you'll go really slow. I won't focus.
At first, I didn't really want her to, but Sarah won't give up until she gets what she wants.
Well, let's wait till we get to our street.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll be careful. Okay, go, go. Hang on. All right.
And she was laughing and everything. She was having a fun time, and Melissa was laughing. She was looking in between the seats.
Hang on, Sarah. Go faster.
No. There's a bump in the middle of the road, and I knew it was coming up soon.
Sarah!
I just went into shock. I didn't know if she was hurt, if she was okay.
Sarah!
I just thought I was gonna lose her. I didn't want to lose her at all.
Is she okay? Sarah!
When we continue,
We're gonna get you out of there. Don't worry.
I was scared, and I thought they would never get her out, and I didn't want my sister to die.
when 10-year-old Sarah Jones fell underneath the car she'd been riding on, she was pinned to the road by the burning hot engine. While neighbor Juanita Bolton called 911, her husband Jim rushed out to help.
Sarah! It's okay, Sarah.
What happened?
I bent down knowing that I was going to see something I probably didn't want to see.
You're gonna be all right, baby.
And I seen then that it was Sarah.
Turn the engine up.
She was crying and probably in shock.
We're gonna get you out of there. We're gonna get you out of there. Hold on.
Her leg was bent upwards into the engine. I didn't see how her leg could even go in that position. That didn't look good.
Look out, baby. She's gonna be all right. We're gonna get her out of there.
The leg was up and turned and twisted. I knew that I couldn't pull her out myself. I knew that we was going to have help and quick.
We're gonna get you out.
After calling 911, Juanita joined them.
I knew it was Sarah from her voice. Everyone around the neighborhood knew her. She was a very nice little girl, and everyone liked her.
Oh, yeah, there, baby, they're coming.
It had to be bad. I knew she was in pain. I couldn't see how she was hurt. I couldn't see much of anything. It's just her little head. I was very frightened.
She was yelling, help me, I can't get out, help me get out. But then she'd just lay back down like she didn't have any more strength.
Within 5 minutes, Lamarck fire rescue units arrived on the scene, including EMT Bobby Doolittle.
Calm down.
I had never seen nobody trapped under a car like this. I looked at her leg and I saw her knee was jammed up between the transmission and the firewall, and the first thing I thought, how are we gonna get this kid out?
Just take it down here and get it up, bud. It don't matter.
When Fire Chief Clark Kofer got to the scene, he took charge of the extrication.
My concern was what damage was done to her by the vehicle when it ran over her.
She could have had bleeding internally, broke bones. You know, she started getting real panicky. Her neck could have been broken. She could have turned the wrong way and died on us before we'd ever got her out from underneath the car.
I need lifeline in the air.
I felt like I wanted to go over there and pick up the car, but I couldn't. I knew I didn't have that much strength to help her.
I was scared. She was under there pretty tight, and I thought they would never get her out. And I didn't want my sister to die.
We couldn't move it forward, we couldn't move it back. We had to jack the car off of her.
Talk to me, does it hurt?
We're concerned that the little girl was probably burnt because of the engine block, and can get up to 1,200 degrees, cause a second, third degree burn rather quickly within 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay, baby. Come on, talk to me.
Her leg was up about the highest point that we was going to be able to jack the car up, so we started trying to see if maybe we could reach up there and just pull it.
Sarah had been pinned underneath the car for nearly 40 minutes when the Life Flight helicopter touched down at the scene. Flight nurse Maria McClure took over her care.
Guys, what do we got?
We have a female.
Oh, please, Sarah.
How you guys doing over there?
How you doing?
She was very scared, but she was being very brave.
Somebody had come up with the idea, let's get a syringe and put some jelly in it and put on her leg and see if maybe we can slide it down.
Bobby, here's your Vaseline. All right, give me one. All right, hey, baby. Okay, here we go.
Even though you normally would not put Vaseline on a burn because it could create additional bacteria, our major concern was getting her loose, getting her out, and then worrying about the care of the burn.
Got it, Bobby? Yeah, we got it. Let's try it.
Finally, we'd got enough up underneath and it popped out.
All right, here it comes. Here it comes.
The burn on her knee looked very bad, and I was afraid that she might have hidden injuries that could possibly kill her. So I wanted to get her to the hospital as soon as possible.
A neighbor got in touch with Sarah's parents, Jody and Randy Jones, and told them what had happened.
Being an EMT, I knew that Sarah was hurt bad simply because they called out Life Flight. We'd never call out Life Flight unless it's a very serious accident. I was scared to death. I literally started to prepare myself that she might not live.
Ten-year-old Sarah Jones was flown to the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston.
As I was watching the doctors examine her burns,
Okay, looks like you got a pretty good burn here. All right, let's check the pulses here. Sure.
and I realized the extent of the damage there, my heart was really breaking for this little girl. I knew what she would have to go through.
As soon as they got to the hospital, Randy and Jody were allowed to see their daughter.
I truly think that I know what a broken heart feels like because that's how I felt when I walked into that room and I saw Sarah. I can remember that feeling. It was a sinking feeling. It felt like it was just choked up right in my heart. I mean, my throat. It was just there. I couldn't hardly swallow. I couldn't hardly breathe.
What's up, babe?
She held my hand. She told me she loved me, and she was so sorry for doing that. She said, "I'm so sorry, Mom. I messed up. I'm so sorry." I told her it was okay.
Come on, let's get in here and tell her hi.
I kept telling her that I loved her, and I didn't mean to hurt her. She said she knew, and she understood, and she loved me too. And she said it wasn't my fault. It was both of us.
Get the saline ready.
Come on now. They ran a bunch of tests and they started ruling things out. They didn't think that her leg was broken. They ruled out any possible spinal injury. And I felt right then and there, just elated. I thought, we're going home tonight.
But instead, Sarah was transferred to nearby Shriners Burns Institute, where Dr. Robert McCauley took over her care.
She had what we would refer to as a fourth-degree burn, which involves not only the skin and subcutaneous tissues, but also there was damage to the tendons and the cartilage. I can't guarantee you that this operation will be successful, but what I can tell you...
At first they thought Sarah's leg might have to be amputated. It was very difficult to think that Sarah might never walk again, simply because she was always a very active kid.
During the 2 months Sarah spent in the hospital, she had reconstructive surgery on her leg and knee and underwent 5 skin graft operations.
I would get off of the elevator, and I could hear her screaming all the way down the hall from them changing her bandages. It was very hard. I wanted to get back on that elevator and leave. But I couldn't. I wanted to be with her.
Hold it, Sarah.
Her physical therapy lasted another 6 months.
She never gave up. She always did exactly what the doctors asked her to do, always did exactly what I asked her to do. Sarah's an incredible fighter.
Come on, Sarah, you can do it, baby. You can do it.
I got the strength from my dad because he encouraged me so much.
Show me how.
Okay.
Show me how.
All right.
I told myself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this done just for my dad. And so, tried my hardest.
Nearly 2 years have passed since the accident. Sarah's recovery has been painfully slow.
The doctors say that it's okay to do anything I want now. And so, I'm going to stretch my legs to the absolute limit. I'm going to get back into sports, and I'm going to get back into just having a great time with my family.
Sarah's doing everything that she did before, everything. She still has to wear her Jobs, which is a bodysuit that keeps the scarring down. She doesn't care. Sarah wore shorts the first day of school so that everybody could see her legs and see the Jobs, ask questions, and get it over with and get it behind her.
Come on.
I'm so grateful to all the people that helped me. And if there's anything that they ever need done, they could come to me and ask me if I could help them.
I am especially grateful to the people at Shriners. They were with Sarah every day for 2 months. It's a wonderful place. It's actually a happy place. Everybody's there trying to make these children happy and forget their pain.
Naughty Nicky thought he could do anything he wanted. Whenever he was asked to do something he hated. I'll go back to Shriners and read to the children, and I'll play games with them, and I'll encourage them to walk because I can tell them I've been through it too.
I thought it was funny, and you didn't even know that I did it. I was pretty secretive.
Riding on the hood of a car may look fun, but you could die, you could lose a leg or an arm. In fact, you might be paralyzed for the rest of your life.
No!
One of the things that I try to do is I try to be thankful every single day. I could have lost my daughter, literally. And I think about that. I thought about that when we were building our new house, that we might not have needed this other bedroom. And I'm so thankful that that bedroom's full right now. I'm so glad that I get to fuss at her because her room is dirty. I'm so glad that there's still the 5 of us in our family instead of just 4.